Welcome to I Know It Sounds Crazy, But It's True podcast. I'm the host, BBJ, and this is
Angel.
This is Brisha.
Let's get into this segment called Situational Antidote, where we pick a subject and tell our story about it. And today's subject is navigation fails. So, we all know I'm directionally challenged.
Yes,
To
Lord.
the max. But my navigation fails today that I'm going to talk about is how me and my friend was on our way to see my other friend at work because we was bored one day, and we was driving, and the way you gotta go is like all the way up this long street, but once you go up there, it connects to like another part of the state. So I wasn't in Baltimore anymore at that time. We ended up in Harford County somewhere, and we were supposed to stop before Harford County. Ended up going, and then ended up in the boonies somewhere. I don't even know how we got there because I didn't take one turn. And then my friends in the whole background, she looks up and she's like, where are we going? And I was like, we're going to the job. And I was like, wait, this is taking a little bit longer than usual. And she was like, oh my gosh, you got me in the boonies. We gonna get lynched. We gonna get shot. I said, yo, why we gotta be all of that? Like, dang, I can't just turn around. So then we ended up seeing some construction workers, and then they was like, oh yeah, you're in Bel Air, Maryland. And I'm like,
All the way out Bel Air.
I don't know how I but
So at no point did you read any of the signs. It's like Bel Air, Maryland.
there was
Bel
no
Air,
sign
Maryland.
that said Bel Air, Maryland. That's the problem. It just said Gunpowder Falls. It just kept talking about gunpowder. So I was like, I don't know, but we usually pass that sign every time we go down there. So I was like, okay, this is the right way. And I found out later on when we turned back around to go to her actual job that I went too further down. Like the gas station that I seen that she was supposed to have been at, we drove past it way beforehand. So I ended up just driving to be driving at that point in time. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So what about you guys?
As far as navigational fails, I guess I'm gonna have to tell this one story. This happened to someone I know. One of their friends, not the brightest cookie in the, place, decides that that's who they're going to take as their. That's who they're going to take as their the person to keep them up and keep them on point. But the person is not the brightest of people. So they're driving back from New York. They're driving. Homie takes a wrong turn on one of the exits, which anybody can do. But the second the person in the passenger seat is literally like just sitting there watching them do this. She's taken the drive many times and just didn't say anything. So an hour or two goes past and she's like, she sees a sign. So from New York, you're supposed to be going south. I want to say the lady who told me this story happened to be going north towards Maine is the sign that she saw.
Whoa.
So she's like, where the hell did I go? What did I do wrong? All of this, all of that. And the person in the passenger seat was like, well, I thought that you took a wrong turn, but
And didn't say anything?
nothing because I didn't want you to feel like I was second guessing your judgment. All I could do when she told me this story was laugh. That's it. And it's funny because the person who I did that, who told me this story is normally not, directionally challenged. So that's my
The thing was her grandmother was there. And she's like,
Were you just having
staring at
people up
me.
in grandma's house? Like,
No,
what
it
were
was
you
her
doing?
house, but her grandmother just so happened to be there. And like, she's just didn't even. I'm like, hello. She didn't say anything to me, and I'm like, all right then. So I'm
So
sitting
what
there.
if grandma was mute?
No, grandma's not mute. She's definitely not.
I tried. Okay.
No saving that. So
Mm.
I'm like, so when they tell me like, oh my bad, we're over at his house. I'm like, oh, are they not here? And she's like, no, I wanted to know why you were here. So you didn't want to open up your mouth and say anything?
I think I would have been a little bit ticked off too. But to continue this story time, our guest has an actual interesting story as well. And just to introduce him, this is Adam. He is a Twitch, let's say he's a game streamer in very many different genres. You can follow him on Twitter, IG, and TikTok apparently. And his handle is ADAMBOBBOMB. Let's go ahead and call Adam. So Adam, the topic of today is tell us a story about when you had a navigation fail.
Okay, so once upon a time, right? We was in college, right? We, as in me, myself, and I, all three of us. We had to. I was on a debate team, right? The reason why that's funny to my family is because when I was growing up, I didn't talk a lot. I didn't like really start talking until I was like 3. But yeah, my sister did all my talking for me. They call her Johnny Cochran. Anyway, so as we were going to our debate trip, it was from North Carolina to home, right? Essentially Morgan State. And so I told my debate coach, I'm like, yo, we're going back to my neck of the woods, you know? That's lit. And he's like, yeah. And it's like, okay, cool. So why do you have the GPS device? He's like, oh, you know, I never really drove up there. I said, oh, great. Don't worry about it. I've been taking this trip since I was like at least a good 4 years old, you know? It's just 95 and just go, right? He's like, yeah, but you know, I never really been there before. And I was like, okay, cool, that's great, but I live there. I have to drive back and forth because I live there, right? So just listen to me, you're gonna be good. It's like, yeah, but you know, not really too confident. I'm like, okay, you're just deciding not to listening to me. So he's like, oh, how about this? He said, if we get lost, we'll defer to you, but we're gonna start with a GPS. I'm like, all right. So as we're driving, you know, we're getting through North Carolina. Now, raise your hand virtually if you've ever had to drive to North Carolina from Maryland at any point in time.
You funny as all hell.
I definitely
Ain't nobody driving that.
Who the what now? Besides,
I had to. I definitely had to.
Okay. So,
And you crazy too.
So when you drive to North Carolina, right? It's just 95 through and through. Nowhere else. That's all you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as we drive to Morgan State University, we go. And I'm sitting here like, the GPS don't need to be here. So time goes on. So we're in DC for some reason. And I'm just sitting here like, what the hell's going on here? And at this point, when we're in DC, we're in Arlington. I'm next to my grandparents' house at this point. And so I'm like, there's no reason why we should be here. And this is when we realized that the robot takeover was happening. So if you ever had to drive through DC, or drive from Virginia past DC to get into Maryland, right? You kind of like overshoot. You kind of like shoot over it, right? So GPS told us to make that turn onto the bridge to go into DC, right? And right in the middle of the overpass, the GPS said, "Turn right now." Immediately right was turning us through a wall that would go to the underpass. I'm like, and this is why you listen to the one from Maryland. Anyway, so we're in Southeast DC and they're asking us like, Adam, what do we do? I'm like, it's too late. I don't know DC like that. Lucky for you though, my aunt does. So I have to call my family to fix these people's problems to try and get ourselves out of DC back on the 95. Judy didn't answer, so we called Porky. Luckily, Uncle Porky. Called Uncle Porky. He answered the phone, got us on the 95. We're on 95, and they listen to the GPS one more time. And I'm like, at what point did we realize that we're going to die listening to Beatrice over here? So, you know, we go through DC. No, we go through, right? And we get to Morgan, but we're still confused, right? Because we're trying to get to a Holiday Inn, not to Morgan. Yeah, we're end up in Baltimore City near the Art District, right? Where we're on Martin Luther King Boulevard or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, Adam, are we in the hood? Oh, we're not in the hood. It's a halfway house in the hood. We close to it. Like, we look on the wrong side of the street. We are in the hood, but we're not there yet. You should listen to me in the first place. We finally get there. An 8-hour trip took 12. It's not, the wind closed the van door. It was like, whoa. I said, nah, y'all wanted this. We here now. Open the door. I mean, it sounded like you about to see Auntie Anne and the Wicked Witch of the West in a second with this wind blowing. I said, all right, everybody go get your stuff. We got to go ahead and make a book for it because it's cold out here. But I got my jacket. Y'all don't got yours. See you on the inside. Always defer to the one that has done the trip for about 18 years.
That type of party, I guess. Like, they got, you know what? Unfortunately, you had to go through that. But they got what they deserve. They should have listened to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so are you originally from North Carolina?
Mm-mm. I went to school in North Carolina, and my dad's side of the family is originally from Buffalo. And they moved from Buffalo to Charlotte. The only one I didn't move was my father. And so we just took that trip multiple times because of Thanksgiving.
That's a drive, because first of all, from here to New York is like, depending on where you're going, 3-4 hours, maybe 5 hours. Mm-hmm. And then from here to South Carolina is like 8. Jesus. Yeah, I was driving for a whole day.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't even the longest trip I've had.
Yep.
But, yeah, at this point, if people say, it's a 4-hour trip, I'm like, what, 3 podcasts? You'd be fine.
Right. And wink, wink.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Adam, for joining us today.
Hey, I'm glad to be part.
Clearly, you have interesting stories. Hopefully, you tell them on your Twitch. Can you tell us your Twitch again for me?
Yes, I am Adam Baker, also known as Adam Babam, on twitch.tv. Stream on Mondays and Tuesdays, 6:30-ish.
Like, don't expect me to be on time, but around that time. Oh.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I couldn't.
That was great conversation, guys. So
yes, it was.
Getting into this next segment called Word in Minds, where we pick one word and discuss our definition of it. And the word for the day is food.
Oh, my specialty.
Oh my gosh. Food. Ooh, it's the best thing on a sad day, on a happy day, on a confused day.
Food is literally there for everything of my life, okay? It is my comfort. It is my home.
Right. Like,
food is that.
Jesus. That's the key to my heart. That's probably why I'm a little bit bigger than I should be now, but that's really the key to my heart.
It's okay, because I heard niggas like them thick with 2 C's.
So what's the first thing you think about when you think of food?
Yeah, I'm gonna be upset. Well, Angel is.
Lord.
Mel and Jen.
Why the fuck? You know what? See?
Hold on. I was trying. Before you get upset. Before you get upset. I'm sure a lot of people who's listening to this podcast doesn't know what that is. It's basically curried eggplant that's into a stew, and usually you can accompany it with, various meats like chicken, turkey, beef. But when you cook or stew down eggplant, it kind of forms a slush, in which I totally understand why people wouldn't like it because of the texture. But oh my god, it is so good, especially over rice, and like it's nice and curried and spiced just right. It's so good.
And Angel, why do you not like this?
I first of all, I'm not a big fan of eggplant. I'm not even a big fan. That's one of the few. I'm not a big fan of any fall vegetable, really and truly. But eggplant in particular, there's no way that you can cook it that I like eggplant. And I've tried it all. From melon to curry, to fried, to grilled, to in eggplant parmesan, to...
You don't even like that?
Eggplant. No. And y'all know how I love Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
That's my second favorite food behind Caribbean. Especially that Trini food. Oh my gosh, make you want to. I'm just whining right now because just thinking about a good roti
so much
and a good curry goat. Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
What's the most wildest food that you've eaten that people would be like, why?
Oh, that would definitely be iguana.
Okay.
Yeah. The taste of iguana, it tastes like chicken, but if you ever eaten shark cheese, when you eat it and you get that aftertaste at the end.
Okay.
And then combine that with chicken. So it's like a first chicken flavor, and then you get that sharp aftertaste.
Where did you buy iguana from? Like
in Trinidad, they fall from the trees. Like,
okay. And y'all just frying iguana randomly?
No, we stew it.
Oh. Okay. I guess.
With the eggs.
With the eggs. Oh.
Yeah.
Savage. I would have to say I haven't gone too extreme, but a lot of people like to consider escargot as something that they would definitely not try. And it's not bad, really and truthfully, for people who are thinking about it or who have never tasted it before. It's really not that bad. All you taste is the herb and the substance they use to cook it in, which is garlic and butter. That's all you taste. You don't taste anything else. So
how would you describe that texture?
Describe the texture? Mm-hmm. It's really it's basically you just chewing it. Like it's not really a chewy substance. It's not really a bad texture. You're literally just tasting something. It's like popping like chicken nuggets in your mouth. Basically, it's really that small. But because people think about what it actually is, they be like, I can't see myself eating it. But besides that, I would have to say, other than that, would be alligator. Okay. I actually tried that. That wasn't bad. I had it on the cruise boat. That was actually not that bad. Fried alligator.
What cruise boat were they serving the alligator on? Is it the one you got to roll yourself?
No. That wouldn't be a cruise, and that would be me surviving.
What's a food that you have, I want to say, an emotional tie to? I guess you can say that. What foods do you have an emotional tie to?
So anything with pasta, period, is just to die for me. But then I'm a big sweet addict at the same time. So it's like pasta plus some ice cream. Oh, I'll be in seventh heaven. Like, you cannot get me to move at all from anywhere. Like, period. That's it. But ice cream is really my comfort food, though. Like, I know they always be like having in the movies where the girls be eating the cartons of ice cream and all that stuff. I try to pride myself in not doing that, but if I could, I would.
Fun fact about that, when you see people eating ice cream on television shows and movies and whatnot, it is actually mashed potatoes.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, because it won't melt, Like, it'll keep its shape.
Imagine doing like multiple tapes of that and you're just keep eating mashed potatoes.
And you gotta enjoy that thing like, this
right.
is the best ice cream I've ever had. And you put it you licking mashed potatoes.
You get hella mashed potatoes that day. Like, I wouldn't even want to eat mashed potatoes no more after that. Don't you hate when they be having them movies and for breakfast the family be making this elaborate breakfast and all the family do is eat one piece of toast and then leave out the house like, all right, I see you. What do y'all do with the rest of this food that y'all got spread on this table? If you don't sit here, y'all gonna be late anyway. Y'all already late. If y'all just go ahead and sit here and eat the rest of this food, like, bruh, that is a waste.
I feel like they don't do that too much, but I'm sure like in earlier times, the wife was supposed to be home. That's your job. You're supposed to have breakfast ready. So it's not no just cereal. It's not like no piece of toast. It's going to be the whole nine because it's kind of normal, like a bowl of cereal, unless it's like the weekend or they're on vacation or something. It's usually a fairly simple or, whoever's in there is going to figure it out.
Right.
But I do get that. It'd be some fruit, 3 types of pancakes,
right?
Syrup. There's flowers on the table as a centerpiece. Like, who are you? And it'd be like 2 of them in the house. Like, who's
right? Then they got the candle lit. Like, girl, it is morning. What are you doing?
It is 8:00 in the morning. What are you doing?
And he picks up one piece of toast. All right, honey, I gotta go and be late. Like, what?
I would slash your tires.
Right?
I would slash your tires. Come in here and eat this. What's something that you like had once You had the intentions of giving it a chance, and it was absolutely the worst.
I already know what it is. Pho.
You don't like pho?
Let me tell you, no. Brisha pumped this pho up. She was like, "It's really good. They got the clear noodles.
Like
it's really fire."
No. Okay, no. Back up. What we had today, that wasn't pho. That was hot pot. You didn't have pho.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking. I'm talking about that day when we went and you almost died off of the wasabi. I mean, no, was that the same place?
It wasn't that same time.
No, it wasn't that same time.
We
did have it. It was another time we did have it.
No, because I'm thinking the time that you're talking about is when me, you, Angel, and I don't know if I can say his name on here, begins with a D, went out to this place. He got like a rice dish. I don't remember what Angel got. But me and you shared a hot pot, so that's different than pho. It's basically
we went twice to Brisha. One time I went with just me and you, and then another time it was us four because
where
Tough wanted to try it.
Where
we was up there on Joppa,
next to
Lucky Inn.
Yeah, that was hot pot.
No, it's not. And you was like, y'all don't like it, and we was like, no, not at all. I mean,
I do remember I remember y'all not liking it, but I swear we were doing a hot pot.
No, we wasn't. We was doing that mess.
What did you have in it?
It was clear noodles and broth. But
really
anyway, it was that
because I know exactly what you're talking about. And I know
great
where.
Great leaves I will never in my life ever again.
I didn't expect that shit to taste good anyway.
I was trying it. I was trying to be optimistic.
I was trying it really because
optimistic about it.
Brishas are more, what's the word?
Adventurous.
Unique. We'll just go with unique.
Okay.
But
so yeah, I don't like tripe and things like that.
I love tripe. I love a good tripe inside of a soup. There. That was in what?
I don't think I heard.
That was in the pho.
Yeah, barely. It was not. It was whack. The pho that we had that day was whack. It was a light ass broth soup. It tasted like boiled vegetables with nothing.
It didn't taste like nothing. It tastes like water that was hot. That's what it tastes like. Hot water.
And then some of the stuff had a texture inside of it that just reminded me of like soggy diaper. I don't know. Like it just was not good. And I don't know if it was just that
I would
place.
never try it again.
No.
I would never pay money for that again. And I damn well know I wouldn't pay money for them stuffed grape leaves again.
Definitely not.
You didn't pay for it though.
Yeah. And I'm mad that you spent hard-earned money.
I am too. I ain't even pay full price for it, and I'm mad.
I didn't even, that's the crazy part. I'm mad that somebody else spent their money on that. That's how bad that was. Like, their gyros, delicious. Their cheese pie, amazing. Their feta french fries.
Okay, hold on. We gotta stop shitting on her food choices. What's the food you will never try again, Brisha?
Chitlins.
Why did you try to?
Why did you?
Yes, and your mom. I'm like asking your mom, like, "Hey, what's this?" She's like, "Chitlins," and then I was like, "Oh, how does it taste?" And she's like, "Oh, you never had it before?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Okay, go ahead, try some." Never. Again.
Don't listen to the country people. That's why.
Very vinegary. Don't even
listen. Think like coleslaw. Think about that.
I don't mind coleslaw.
And you also put raisins in it, so I mean,
you know what? I don't care. I like it. So.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
But you know, everybody has like, even if we're in Mexico, there's the Italian restaurant. You know, you can go to Mexico and get Chinese food. It's just how the world is set up now. You can get a little taste of everything.
I feel like food is just amazing. We got all this great food in the world. Why not eat it? Why not try it? Like I tried what is it, mochi for the first time? The little ice cream.
I hate mochi.
Yeah,
the ice cream one or the regular one? Because I don't mind the ice cream one. I don't like the regular one.
I never tried the regular one. I tried the ice cream, and the ice cream is bomb.
That's interesting. I would assume Brisha would be the one that likes that, and you to be like, not really.
I think for me, it's like the doughy
texture.
outside. BBJ can bite directly into ice cream. The thought of it just blows my mind.
Oh God.
I cannot. So I think that's why she's okay with mochi. I can't, because I would have to suck off the outside part.
You don't want to suck off the ice cream.
You know what? I'm going home.
Since we talking about desserts, what's your favorite dessert before we go ahead and end this podcast? If it was your last hours on this earth and they told you had to get your last meal, what would it be?
A roasty with a steam pot of crab legs on the side with a yellow cake with chocolate icing, cookies and cream milkshake, and a root beer float.
All right, so mine would be some melon, some rice, like 2 pieces of the big thick piece of crab, like the king crab, just already shelled for me. I would have some mint ice cream. I would have some strawberries. And
hold on, did you say mint
water.
Ice cream?
Mint chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, because she's disgusting.
Brisha. Zubeda. I love you.
You know what I hate? Butter pecan ice cream.
I don't like butter pecan.
Yeet that out of the universe. I hate it.
I hate that.
Like, oh my god, it's so good. And I hated it.
Like, butter pecan is the worst. Right next to that mint chocolate chip shit that she likes.
I don't see what the hype is either. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what's so hype about it. All it is vanilla ice cream with some nuts in it.
You know what ice cream I really hate that people get?
What?
Is it Neapolitan? I don't like strawberry ice cream. I just don't. It's just not a good flavoring to me.
Oh, that's the real reason why you don't like it. That's why. That's the real reason
I don't
you don't
want
like
that shit touching.
So
and then when you ask for one, it's like, yeah, you can ask for one, but you're always going to get a scoop of all 3. Because, you know, the girl with the big ass arm who's taking it out never takes out just one. Yes.
Because you wouldn't eat the strawberry ice cream by itself, right?
No.
So it was not.
Unless I would make it into.
Hate strawberry ice cream.
I hate the fact that they're together. Like, don't fucking have my shit touching.
How you OCD with ice cream?
I'm OCD with a lot of things. I don't
that don't make any type of sense. You don't want ice cream touching ice cream. I don't understand that.
It's different flavors, honey, and that's just not where it's at.
It's going down the same throat.
I'm sorry?
It's going down the same throat.
So is a lot of it's going
is.
down the same throat. So is mashed potatoes and ice cream, but you don't want them shits touching, do you?
Well, would you be eating ice cream and mashed potatoes at the same time?
That's the difference. I don't know. I feel like food makes the world go round, just like money did.
It does. And you can really taste people's culture from food. Like, that's the awesome part.
Like I say with music, I feel like music and food, you can learn a lot just from one person from. And it just says a lot. Like an abundance of a lot of your personality, your way of life, everything. It just says a lot to you before you even get to know the person. It says a lot.
Food was a motivator in my life, which is why my fat ass is fat. It's crazy that there are so many varieties of food. Like,
yes, that is definitely true.
When you look up how many, just look up how many different types of apples there are, and people eat the same 7 things. Like, statistical standpoint, people eat the same couple of foods, like 7 in a month for dinner. Like, they have 7 recipes, and they just recycle those over and over and over again. Pork chops, fried chicken, you know, just over and over the same. And I'm like, with so many different varieties, how is it that you are still eating the same damn thing? How? Help me help you. I don't get it.
Right. Well, now a lot of people, 1, can cook, 2, are that adventurous, and 3, can't cook. So that gives not a lot of creativity when it comes to stuff like that. Like, if you can't cook and all you really can cook is some noodles, put some cereal in a bowl, or because some people don't even know how to boil water right. So it's like,
you know what? I thought that was a joke, but there are really people who are out here who can't do it.
You got to pick and choose your battles.
I mean, some people are gifted in certain ways, and others are not gifted in those ways.
That is true.
It's like that. It's unfortunate, but it's like that. And then some of it is just trying. Like, some people just don't try.
That's irritating more than anything. Like, if you want to be friends with me and I like cook something and you're like, what's that? And you don't even, it's one thing if you eat it and you don't like it, okay, whatever. But like, when you don't even want to put forth the effort to even try it, it's like, you know, this is already determining how the course of this relationship or this friendship is going to go.
On that note, we're going to go ahead and end today in our segment. Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment with ideas you would like to hear us talk about. Share with everybody. Grandma on the porch, somebody. I don't care who you share with.
Why specifically grandma on the porch? What if grandma's in the bed? Do we not share everything?
Grandma on the porch was been listening to us, okay?
Think about it. If you can think to the future, how you think you're going to be as an old lady?
Miserable.
Wild. Hell no. I'm not about to be nobody miserable.
Not miserable. No. Not miserable like sad, but miserable like I'm gonna annoy everybody.
Oh, you do that now. That's not future. Just that's present.
Right.